was a bad person.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You said Colton. What did he say? Colton is a good person?
Yeah, he just got sucked into a bad movement.
No, let's be fair. He said that he didn't think Colton was a bad person.
No,
Yeah.
he said that after.
No, that's exactly what I said the first time. I don't think
yeah.
Colton is a bad person.
No, I remember what I said, right? And after he said it, I repeated him. I said, "You think he's a good person?"
I said I don't think he's a bad person, I recall. But anyway, the whole point is...
Here we go. More revisionist history.
The whole point is, I don't think Colton is necessarily a bad person. Yeah, he says all this meme shit on the internet, but I just think
it's not just on the internet.
I just think he's getting sucked into this toxic society.
So he's like, Colton to you is like the yin and the yang. It's not good or bad, just kind of neutral, by itself to its
Honestly, I kind of see him as
Sam,
misguided.
what do you mean shit on the internet? He just
Exactly. He's misguided.
I kind of just see him as misguided, man. That's all.
I mean, Sam, I have to say this.
Do you think Hitler was misguided?
You realize this man is engaged in actual fights
Danny.
with
Chrissy,
people.
this is one of those times.
Well, let's talk about this. I mean, Danny, what do you consider to be a bad person? I mean,
Hold on a second.
what is your
There's a
parameter?
question on the board. I'm not going to let you just run the train into the ground, tasteless. Dan asked a question. Do you think that Hitler was misguided? Sam.
No, I wouldn't put Hitler on the same category as Colton, right?
I don't think that's my question.
Oh fuck, dude.
No, I think
Oh, shit.
I think he was a bad person. If that's what you want me to say, Hitler
No.
was
Look,
a bad
hey,
person.
are you listening, buddy? Listen to the question. Do you think Hitler was misguided?
I mean, no. Not in the same sense that we're discussing Colin, that he's not a bad person but just misguided, right? Hitler was a bad person. I don't agree with the things he did. I don't think he did good things.
So,
that answer your question?
So you hold on to something like that there was no information that Hitler came across or particular figures that he followed to where it led him to the beliefs that he had about how to, what to do, what he did later with Germany, right? That all of his ideas were kind of almost intrinsic, or he came to them himself, right? Because that's what I take to be misguided, to be led astray, right? That there's this factor, these are uncontrollable factors, right? That caused an individual to act in such a way that's an undesirable way, right? So you're making the claim that Colton is such a person where you have these kind of factors, these determinate factors that's causing Colton to behave in a certain way. Now, how does that not extend to other people that you find, bad, like Hitler?
I think you're extrapolating this for much more than what it is, Danny. Like, the reason why I would say Hitler is a bad person is because he executed on his beliefs, his actions led to the deaths of millions of people, and his actions resulted in all these negative consequences.
So Hitler would have not been, if Hitler was unsuccessful in taking over the country, and he held all the beliefs that he had, so he wouldn't be a bad person under your definition, because you're saying a bad person is only a person that not only has the beliefs that are undesirable, but is able to actualize or push that sort of agenda, right?
I don't think you can condemn a person just for thinking certain thoughts, right? It has to be in virtue of actions he commits or ideologies he spreads to others.
So if I tried to kill you, right? Let's say you're in the hospital and I tried to kill you, and I instead of administering a poison, I administer a medication that cured you of the disease, right? I wouldn't be a bad person. It led to a good consequence. My state of mind was irrelevant.
Not necessarily, because you executed on that, right? The whole thing I say is that you can't condemn somebody just for having bad thoughts. He has to have bad thoughts and execute on those thoughts with the intention of causing harm.
Okay,
That's what Colton does.
But the idea there is, okay, intention, right? These are the same thing as, I thought that that's in the same line of having the beliefs, or right? We can talk about Hitler's intentions, right? In the same way that we can talk about Colton's intentions. Like, what sort of intentions would Colton have if he were?
Hitler, Daddy?
Never mind, Tasteless wants to...
I think you're just extrapolating too far from this. I'm not trying to say that Colton is a model citizen and a good example for everything. All I'm trying to say
That's what I take a good person to be.
All I'm trying to say is that I don't think he's this terrible criminal of a guy. I think he's somebody that's getting sucked into this bad ideology, just riding the bandwagon in a way. That's all. And I'm not saying
a good person is somebody who like gets along in society and like doesn't want harm to come to
I
people
didn't
and-
say he was a good person, right? I just said I don't think he's necessarily a bad person.
I could have sworn.
That's different, right? I said I don't think he's
Don't let
necessarily a
him
bad
gaslight
person.
you. Don't let him gaslight.
Why are you fucking pressuring Sammy into this so much, dude? I mean, the
Wait,
guy
wait,
has made
Tasteless,
his point
did you
clear.
hear? Did
Now,
you hear?
Danny is suggesting
I'm
Colton.
gonna say he
is
doesn't
fucking
remember because he
Hitler.
can't.
What the
has
fuck
to
is this?
Okay.
Man? This is ridiculous. If you want, if I'm holding this. I did say that Colton is a great person. He's a good person. Now he has terrible ideas, of course, 100%. But he has demonstrated to be, a person. To me, Colton is so needy of belonging to a group that, yeah, unfortunately, his experience has led him to these types of groups.
Well, I mean, he's retracted. I think that if he's retracted, so do you retract that Colton is a good person, or you make the claim that you never said that?
I never said he was a good person. The exact words was he's not necessarily a bad person.
So you didn't hear you. So when Seth asked you, do you think Colton's a good person? You didn't affirm that.
No, I don't think I did.
And now I can just only appeal to the room because I thought the only reason why I rarely go after people, right? Rarely, and I thought I heard, right, that you affirmed that he was a good person after Seth asked you that question. So I don't know if I'm being gaslighted or
I don't
whatnot, but
I don't think I did. Maybe Seth can clarify, but I'm pretty sure I didn't say yes, he's a good person. Well, my initial claim was just that he's not necessarily not necessarily a bad person. Sorry, that wasn't the revised claim. That's why I said the first time. Tomer, you're just trying to start shit as usual. Fuck off.
Oh, fuck.
You're trying to take something incredibly trivial and start shit as usual.
It's not trivial.
Me saying he's not necessarily a bad person, it's pretty.
No. If you said that the resident Nazi in here that goes around with weapons trying to beat up on people during protests is a good person, that wouldn't be a small deal.
That's not what I said, though. I said he's not necessarily a bad person.
So it is a big deal. Whether you said that or not is a big deal.
Well, shit.
Somebody who's one of the higher ups in a known hate group.
This conversation's over. I'm not going to engage you, Tom.
Boom.
No, I'm not going to engage anyone on this. This conversation's over.
He just does this edgy shit online, and he's like a good person.
But Wolf, that's bullshit. He just showed us his Hitler tattoo.
Oh, I missed it.
That was pretty
Darn.
magical.
Wait, he showed the tattoo?
I was
Yep.
watching Twitch.
Fuck.
Can we talk about how Tasteless and Sammy become like a White Knight loop that never ends? I think it's really awesome.
I mean, Sam, I was
Sammy,
curious.
what did you
Sam,
say? How did you contradict yourself?
real quick, Sam. What if Colton started fucking with some Muslims? Like, would you be against him then? Would he stop being a good person at that point, or like what?
I think let's say if Colton was charged with assault or with some crime and it could be proven, then yes, I conclude.
Let's hold on. Let's just make this clear. No, stop.
Oh, I didn't know that,
Oof.
honestly. I didn't know he was charged and convicted for it.
Wait,
You see-
Sam said he was a
You're-
good person?
You're
No,
a
I
great
didn't.
judge of character, Sam. You're a
I
great judge
said
of character.
I said he's not necessarily a bad person, but I didn't know that about him.
Well,
Really
I didn't
good
know
judge
that
of
either,
character.
but I didn't know that either. But I'm a better judge of character, where I could say that guy. There's something wrong with that guy. Like, I mean, I'm just surprised that
I think you guys are making a mountain out of a molehill.
I'm just going to clear this up.
I said
No,
he's not
stop.
necessarily. I said he's not necessarily a bad person. Jesus Christ!
Wait,
like,
what?
I'm going to clear this
That's
up. No,
fine.
stop. Tom, give me a second here.
no, this is this is
No,
no,
I
this
need a
this
second.
this is
I need a
completely
second.
different.
Hold
This
on
is
a second.
completely different.
Sam, hold on. Look, I think what's happening here is really clear, right? Sam would think that anyone is a nice guy as long as he's nice to him and he can relate to him in this room. If Hitler was in this room, right? I think Sam would eventually say, I don't think he's such a bad guy. You didn't have to kick him.
That's
Right.
that's not true.
Well, we can just ask Sam
there
what
are-
his criteria for a bad guy is.
You know what?
So
No,
go
he
ahead,
just gave it
Sam.
right. The assault, if he was convicted.
that's
Oh,
one. That's one.
really?
That's
That's it?
that's not the only criteria. Obviously, that's one.
Would another criteria be repeatedly threatening people with physical violence? That
No.
kind of makes someone a bad guy.
Actually, this was my mistake. I'm not going to engage anyone on this channel on this issue. This conversation's over.
Look, if it's your mistake, why don't you
That's
just
what you
say
said.
that?
That's what you said 5
Very
minutes ago.
convenient for you, Sam.
Total embargo on Colton chat? Why? You happily engaged on this. You jumped into this conversation with both feet.
Look. It's okay, Sam. It's okay, man. You're not the first Muslim to think that the Nazis had good ideas. It's fine.
Well, I think we all learned something here.